What's up? This is Mike C. I'm in LA with Johnny once again, and he just ran into the door. And I'm with Andrew right now, and I'm going to do a tickle massage on him. He's never received a tickle massage before, I presume. He has in his fantasies because he's dreamed about me giving him a tickle massage because that's what he gets off on. But besides that, he's never had a physical, in reality, in the real world, he's never had a tickle massage. Well, of course, the mental escapes can be a little different. They don't have to actually be produced in a physical sense, but you get my drift. He's never had a tickle massage. But just to let you know, Andrew, I'm speaking to Andrew right now, is why we do the tickle massages. First, I need to define what a massage is. What do you think a massage is?
Where you just grope somebody and make them feel good.
Yes, grope somebody and make them feel good. I was thinking a little more on the lines with a massage is a simple extension of the human sense of touch in order to produce a much-needed calming feeling and relaxing feeling.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay? And what's the definition of a tickling?
Groping for your own pleasure or others' pain. My pain. Because I hate to be tickled.
Yeah, he's pretty dumb. But no, that's also an extension of the human form of touch that is interpreted by the recipient as being ticklish or, giggly and stuff like that. So both of them are extensions of the human form of touch, right? You put two different extremes of the human form of touch, throw them both in a bowl, and what do you get? You don't know, right?
Tickle massage.
Yeah, pretty much, he's a bright one. So that's what we're doing. What we're doing is trying to see how massage and tickling interact and how they influence each other. So that's why we're doing it. What I'm going to do is actually manipulate different types of, not even types of, manipulate several different aspects of a massage in order to exploit the ticklish sensation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
As in, kind of set it up like a science experiment. You've done labs, right?
Yeah.
Where you, when you're doing experiment, how many variables do you have?
2. More than 1. 1.
Okay, well you can have 2 variables, but how many unknown variables do you have?
1.
Thank you. Everything else is held?
Constant.
Thank you. That's what we're going to do in this sense. We're going to keep everything constant when it comes to the tickling, except fluctuate one variable, one aspect of the tickling, okay?
Yeah.
And in doing so, we isolate each different aspect of a massage and see how it influences the tickle sensation. So that includes things like amount of pressure we use, the frequency or tempo or speed at which we tickle, things like that, we'll be isolating and seeing how they affect the overall response. And the other thing we're trying to do is, bottom line, see whether or not you're more or less ticklish after getting massaged. Okay, that's like the golden thing we're trying to do here. So it's gonna be 50 minutes of massage, 25 minutes face down, 25 minutes face up. Almost the entire, about 20 out of the 25 minutes, I'm gonna be just straight massaging you, giving a full therapeutic massage for full upper body. I'm not gonna do any lower body on you today. Full upper body therapeutic massage, just to give you a general sense of well-being and restore kind of comfort and relaxation and stuff. And then I'm gonna tickle you. And you've just done a clinical tickling, and you know how it feels to be tickled, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna have to tickle you again. Try to get past after I massage you and tickle you. Try to get past the initial ticklish reaction and judge whether you are more or less ticklish after being massaged than you would as opposed to not being massaged.
Alright.
Is that okay?
Yep.
So that's what we're gonna do today. Safety, by the way, I just farted. Sorry. I don't know. Are there any parts of your body that are especially sore or tense or anything like that?
Nope. Or actually, parts of my neck, my shoulders, my back, my lower back.
Okay, so I'm doing an upper body massage, and he wants me to isolate his neck, shoulders, back, and lower back.
Do everything.
That's cool. I'll isolate the whole upper body when I'm just doing upper body.
Okay.
Fucking get up. Face down. Just to see how your muscles react, I'm just gonna...
Ah!
I just felt like doing that, I'm sorry.
Oh, bitch.
There you go, son. I'm warming up the oil right now. Are you sleepy? You're the one who wanted this midnight madness bullshit. Fucking homo. What I'm doing right now is just kind of conservatively applying oil to the whole back area and the area that's going to be affected by the massage. In Andrew's case, infected by the massage. So,
Bitch.
yeah, Andrew has crabs. So, what I'm doing right now is just utilizing a process or technique known as stroking, because it's exactly how it sounds. And safety. Exactly how it sounds, and that's got to be one of the most relaxing parts of massage. Just farting in a friend's face. I'm sorry, I just had to do it.
How is that supposed to be relaxing?
Oh god. So just close your eyes and try to relax.
Relax with that shit in the air.
I can't even focus on massage. Oh god. What I'm doing right now is a process of stroking. Exactly how it sounds, just stroking. It kind of forms the basis of the massage, kind of like bridging the gaps between different techniques and everything like that. So, be doing pretty much that. Is that okay, Andrew?
Yeah.
What I'm doing is kind of like feeling you around, trying to pinpoint exactly where there's tension built up. Feel a little tension built up right around here. Feel that? Is there anything kind of sore right here? Is there anything a little sore right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Right there. What is that? The trapezoids. Not too much right here, right?
No.
Not too much on the lats. In case you haven't been working out your back recently, because it's really responding well, which isn't a good thing, because if it was tense, that means you're in shape. A little bit tension right here, not too much built up. A little more in the lower back than in the upper back, right? Or actually, there's some right here too. You feel that?
Yeah.
Some tension built up there. Okay, so I'm going to do a little work on the back, the spine. Andrew, have you ever taken a human anatomy class or like biology class, something like that?
Yes.
Do you know all the muscles in the body?
No.
You're gay. Do you know any of the muscles in the body?
No.
None?
None.
What's this?
Triceps.
See? You fucking know something. What's this?
Biceps.
What's this?
Shoulders.
No, I just said it. Trapezoid.
Trapezoid.
What's this?
Back.
Imagine the pull down exercise. What is this?
Lateral.
Latissimus dorsi. What is this? Sounds like spine, kind of.
Spine.
Erector spinae. What are these? What are
Kidneys.
these? Obliques. Kidneys are an organ, not a muscle. And these? You gotta know this one. What do you throw a baseball with?
Quads.
Quads are over here. What are these?
Triceps.
These are triceps right here. On the back.
No idea.
Deltoid.
Deltoid.
Thank you. Those are the major muscles that are exposed right now. What I'm doing right now, Andrew, just to let you know, because have you ever gone to professional massage before?
No.
I'm doing the foreplay. I'm gonna relate it to sex, okay?
Okay.
Before you fuck a girl, what do you have to do?
Foreplay.
Okay. Define foreplay. What's the purpose of it?
To make your penis hard, make the girl wet.
Okay, well, of course, making the girl wet is a reaction of what the foreplay does, but what does the foreplay do?
Initiate conversation.
A conversation initiates what?
Sex.
Sets the mood.
Yes.
Sets the mood of the sex. You can't jump right into it because there's no feeling involved. Same thing when you're massaging. If you're just cold, let's say I haven't touched you at all, and just start going up to you and just going like,
Yeah.
that's gonna tickle. It doesn't feel good. So what I have to do is I have to kind of do a little stroking, it's a little kneading, kind of work my way into the muscle before I do any deep tissue thing.
Yeah.
Same thing, you gotta work your way into the pussy before you do any deep pussy thing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's what I'm doing. Doing the foreplay. What I'm doing right now is just kind of doing an overall body cross-examining, a little bit of massaging here and there, mostly stroking and kneading and stuff like that. You used to work your triceps out a lot?
Yeah.
How can I tell that?
I don't know.
Because there's actual muscle mass here. I shouldn't say mass, muscle volume here, but it isn't as dense as it should be.
Really?
The volume connotates that you used to be really strong in this area, but the density is actually what connotates how toned it is and everything like that, and how strong it is, you know? That's why little, people who aren't that big but are extremely cut, and you poke them in the abs and stuff and it's just rock hard, they can be just as strong as somebody, who's a lot bigger than them with kind of mushy, muscles.
Yeah.
You realize that?
No, that's cool.
That's why I weighed 165 pounds, but I could bench 275.
Yeah.
Not right now, that was during football season,
No.
I'm smaller than everybody else. But then you got people who are twice my size who are just as, just as proportionally toned as me, who can bench 350. Size does matter in the football world, in the strength world. Can I fart on your arm?
No.
Moving back from the back and the arms, just so I won't neglect one of the body parts. Most of the work's going to be done on your back. Just for now. So how do you like this rain we're getting?
I don't like the rain.
Neither do I, but I need it, because I'm a snowboarder.
I don't like walking in class in the rain.
Yeah, I hate that too, because I'm a commuter school, and I have a long walk. Do you have an umbrella?
Nope.
Neither do I. I don't have one in my house. I have one at my parents' house, just not at my house.
Why do you want?
What? You said like 2 words and then dropped off.
What is?
You said I wanna...
Why me one?
I don't know. Your neck sore, you said?
Yeah.
Just relax. Lay your head down. Scoot up a little bit. So your head's comfortably in this position, okay? What this is doing is elongating your spine and isolating your neck. So I can do a little work on your neck. Do you know that? Do you know you can do that?
Nope.
Do you like that?
Mm.
No, I mean when I need you in the face. Oh, you like that too, huh? You're one of those freaky donkey punch people, huh? you find bloodshed as common sexual practice? Right? Was it soothing at all? To put my spikes on your back.
No.
And right now, as I'm just doing a little shiatsu on your neck, manually trimming any negative chi that might be built up in the area, causing the neck to be craned at odd angles, sending them back to the source, revitalizing your mind. Does it feel good at all? You feeling any work being done? You need some feedback here.
What is this?
I said, is it doing anything for you?
Yes, it does. It's very stimulating and comfortable.
I can very easily lay my penis on the back of your head right now.
Do it for
I want to go surfing.
Oh, snowboard.
What?
Snowboarding.
Snowboarding?
Yeah.
I'm into snowboarding too. I'm sponsored now. You know that? Did I tell you? For like 5 weeks now, I'm sponsored. By Soul Technologies. They make ES, American, and ES. So I get free lift tickets and free gear and stuff now. It's disgusting. Yeah, he has a lot of tension built up in his neck, so I'm doing a little extended work on the area. Shiatsu, getting a little rush of blood to the head, so to say. What this position does is it elongates the spine all the way down, exposing the muscles in the neck, allowing them to relax. As long as the head is straight, the neck muscles are contracted. Only when they're expanded are they completely relaxed. Also, the head is lower than the heart now, and blush runs to it a little freely. Andrew, I'm going to have to ask you to lift your head up. Kind of scoot back to your normal position. Tense, relax again. I'm going to do just a little work on your spine. Try to set the vertebrae a little more straight. Get the chi running through that a little more freely. By using a little practice we like to call shiatsu. Very stimulating, although very calm and peaceful at the same time. Stimulating for the blood, for the chi flow, calming and stimulating for the muscle, and calming and soothing for the muscles. every line of shiatsu, well, it doesn't have to be one line, one solitary line. For every section of shiatsu massage, you really need to spread the area, kind of like diffuse the rest of the energy that's kind of lingering, that hasn't really filtered yet. I did this by doing a lot of cross-stroking. Cross-stroking can either be done like that, but like in a vertical and kind of peel away at the area. A little more effective in my opinion. So arms aren't too sore, so if you haven't noticed, I haven't spent too much time on his arms. Although I will do a little work on it, to the fact that you need to be symmetric and balanced in every part of your massage. Of course, I know I am neglecting the legs, but just time constraints and the solid rubric don't allow us to do so. That's why if you get a 30-minute massage, they'll barely touch your legs. To your legs, maybe 5 minutes out of the whole 30. Unless you request for it to be burned because you're extra sore or anything like that, but otherwise, never happened. Andrew,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask you something.
Yeah.
What did I say the first part of the massage was for? Wasn't intense.
Loosen my body up so I get ultimate feeling everywhere.
Okay, well, what did I say the first experiment was? The biggest experiment of all.
Clinical.
What?
Clinical.
What?
Clinical.
Clinical? You're a weirdo. No, what I said was one of the most important things we're trying to find out in doing a clinical massage is to find out, bottom line, if you're more or less ticklish after being massaged, right? Is that right? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. I need some feedback. Well, you know what? It's almost that time, Andrew. It's almost that time to be tickled. I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to tickle you, and I won't tickle you for an elongated period of time, but I will tickle you enough to let you know whether it is more or less ticklish after receiving a massage, okay? I do have my hypotheses, and they haven't been 100% correct, but they have been close. Kind of relax and enjoy the massage. Am I feeling good at all?
Yeah.
Massage so far? Are your eyes getting heavy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. I've had so many people fall asleep during a massage. I've actually had people tell me to stop massaging because they're too relaxed and they just wanted to take a nap for the rest of the hour. I'm still paying $70 for a fucking hour. I just want to sleep. That's all I needed. Something to soothe them a little bit. also had people come on to me, which was kind of interesting. 45-year-old woman coming on to me. I'm fucking 8. Well, it was 18. Now I'm 19.
No.
That was weird. So they gave me a big tip not to say anything about it. I wasn't gonna say anything about it anyway, but whatever. And I think it's that's their privacy. I'm just kind of flattered by it, actually. Andrew?
Yes.
It's that time in your life where you must be tickled again, okay? So remember, get past the initial ticklish reaction. Try to determine whether it is A, more ticklish, B, less ticklish, or C, the same as it would have been without the massage, okay?
Alright,
relax.
Oh.
Alright, relax. I won't take any more. How'd that feel? Just
Oh,
take a
that-
minute to gather yourself, which kind of orate or verbalize for me. Try to do it for about a minute and just kind of explain the differences or similarities between ticklings before or after massages.
That was so much worse.
Worse being less
That
ticklish
was
or
more ticklish.
more ticklish?
Way more ticklish. I'm really comfortable. I'm feeling good right now. Very relaxed. That tickling really woke me up and it hurt. Like, very ticklish. I'd say that's the most ticklish I've ever been for a while because this massaging was really getting me into a different world and I'm feeling really calm right now. That tickling didn't help at all. Very excruciating, very sensitive to touch right now. Tickling really sucked.
So yes, his favorite word of the day is excruciating, has been settled. But in summation, conclusion, anything you want to call it, pretty much on a general note, you're more ticklish after you're massaged, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's cool. And do now is take like 1 or 2 minutes to kind of wind you down and stuff. Then I'm gonna flip you over, and then we're gonna start our small experiments. You know, fluctuate pressure, everything like that. You know. I don't know, and I think the sound of the rain outside, because it's not like howling wind or anything, just like the pitter patter of the rain is kind of soothing as well. You think so?
Yeah, really.
Like those natural earthy tones and everything like that. I don't know, it's like kind of like transcending, kind of ambient. I don't know, I think if we opened the screen door or the sliding door and just like, you know, the rain, the sound of the rain was a little louder than it is right now, a little more amplified. Turned off all the lights, lit some candles. It would have been like the perfect setting ever for a massage. Don't you think?
Yep.
The sound of the rain in the background, scented candles, aromatherapy, using the light candles and lotion. Really, really dim, flickering lights. But you know, just the natural sound of the rain and everything. There's no really pattern to it all, but it's like almost like a constant, not drone at all, that's not the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
A constant like ease in the back of your mind, kind of like almost grown comfortable out of it, you know? You know, like if the sink is dripping and you hear like the drip, drip, drip all night, it really bugs you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, which even though it's similar, the rain's really soothing, which I find to be kind of odd because they're really similar in sound, right? Oh well, both of them are water dripping, aren't they, in essence?
Yep.
Oh well. It's enough of that. I'm gonna have you go flip over and go face up. Body over, you want to put your head like right around here, just straight on the table. Go down a little bit. I mean, go down on me for a little bit.
What?
No. Yeah, just drop it. Say go down on me.
Oh, bitch.
Go ahead.
Oh.
So as you notice, Close your eyes, just relax. Close your eyes, just relax. Finish out the massage.
Oh, you bitch.
Put a little oil on your nipple.
Oh,
Get in your belly button.
That's gross.
It's like a reservoir. Every time your body gets a little dry, you just like, dude.
You bitch.
Dude, I'm so innovative. I love this. See, now it's kind of dry over here, and you need a little more oil. Bloop. And spread it around.
Fucking bitch.
I can start doing that from now on. It's gonna get all crusty in the morning, though. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if you know this. Well, you don't know this because you've never had a professional massage before, but I'm a lot more conservative with my oil than most people are.
Yeah.
You know why I do that?
Why?
Because it's fucking oil, and oil gives you acne. And if I cake on layers and layers of oil every time, it gets a little less lubricated. All I'm doing is clogging your pores more and more and more. Unless you shower and exfoliate your skin directly after, you'll break out all over. Do you know that?
No.
That's why massages are usually accompanied with, like, you know, paraffin treatments and stuff like that. And, like, you know, this Thai baths and everything with the hot coals and stuff. A lot of times they come together, partly because they're both relaxing, but also because the hot baths and the mineral water will exfoliate your skin naturally, get all the dead skin cells and all the oil that's clogging up your pores and stuff. It's like running a marathon and just laying it after. You know, laying your sweat, all the oil that builds up on your forehead. So it's not only in your forehead, but in your whole body. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's why I'm a lot more stingy or Jewish with my oil. Not to be negative, because more than a third of my friends are Jewish. It's just a turn of phrase, if that's physically possible. Can you turn a phrase?
Yes.
How?
Turn it.
How?
I don't know, saying they're Jewish.
So Andrew does in his sleep. That feel good?
Yes.
Is that arousing?
Yes.
So however your arms are comfortable, just leave them. Do you shave your nipples?
No.
Little stubby short hairs everywhere. Do you have surgery in your stomach?
Yeah.
How?
Had a cyst.
What's a cyst?
Tumor.
Okay. See, I've always heard of a cyst, but I never knew exactly what it was. Cyst is like leukemia.
My belly button.
You're just spreading those a little too much. Wow, my eyes really hurt.
Why?
Because I'm tired, because I have class tomorrow morning, and you decided to work at midnight for 3 hours. So I work until 3 a.m. just to make you happy and more convenient.
Thank you.
But I gotta wake up at 7 and do photography. You know what I mean? Wake up in time. Sunrise, not the actual sunrise, but at dawn I have to take pictures at all different f stops. I've never taken a photography class before, and it's fascinating, so I'm actually trying to do good right now. Have you ever taken a photography class?
Yes.
Do you like it?
Alright.
What?
That's alright.
So you have to do all. I'm right now. I'm learning is like f stops and like aperture or whatever.
Yeah.
That's all I'm learning right now. Like shutter speed. And shadow boxes. reason I'm taking this surf photography class is this photography class is, first of all, my girlfriend's in it too. She took it with me. And I want to do surf photography eventually. That's a whole nother different ballgame, but it all stems off the same shit, so. Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be very cool.
Okay. Everybody's pretty much relaxed. I'm gonna have to start by doing my first experiment on you. Is that okay?
Okay.
Right now, we know nothing about the ticklish response. You know, let me give you a physics example. Let's say you have a force, you did physics, right? Let's say you have a force of 120 newtons protruding at a 45-degree angle. How would you calculate that using nothing but the 45-degree angle? How would you calculate, like, you know, the magnitude of that? What you have to do is break it down into x and y components, right? And then use, like, the law of sines or law of cosines to find out how much each component is. And that's how you break it down. Because there's a motion in the y direction is constant acceleration with a negative at 9.8 meters per second squared, and motion in the x direction is just constant velocity, you know, x equals vt, right? So knowing that, breaking down components is to see how each thing affects the whole, right? And the same thing what we're doing right now is doing it with tickling. I'm going to break down the components. Not just tickle you, but I'm going to tickle you, keep everything constant, and only fluctuate pressure. Does that make sense? Wake up.
Huh?
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
You're full of shit. I'm going to tickle you right here in your body.
Yes.
Average tempo, average pressure. I'm not going to increase the tempo or do anything differently. All I'm going to do is decrease the pressure, see how that affects the ticklish response, and then increase the pressure and see how that affects the ticklish response. Is that okay?
Okay.
Try to get past the initial ticklish reaction and just judge how your response corresponds with the pressure changes, okay?
Okay.
Average tempo, average pressure. How's that feel?
It's sensitive. It's very ticklish.
Is it unbearable ticklish or just...
It's very, very ticklish.
Put your knees down. Okay. I'm gonna lighten up the pressure, same tempo though.
Okay.
How's that feel?
Doesn't hurt as much, but it's still fucking ticklish.
Ticklish, this stuff?
Yeah.
What if I lighten up even more?
More. Oh, yeah.
Same tempo, but light pressure.
It's ticklish, but it doesn't hurt as much anymore.
Okay, back to the average.
Okay.
How's that?
Ticklish.
Okay, and increase the pressure.
Same
Same tempo, more pressure. Same tempo, more pressure. Alright.
Oh, God.
Kind of worry for me, kind of follow that whole timeline. First I decreased it a couple times, then I increased it a couple times. How did that affect the ticklishness?
Oh man, when you decrease the pressure, it doesn't hurt, but it's not as ticklish as when you increase the pressure and increase tempo, because when you do that...
I didn't increase the tempo at all.
Or when you increase the pressure, because that causes more stimulus on my stomach, where it's very sensitive right now and ticklish. And then it just tickled really bad and it hurt. Like, this is painfully ticklish.
For somebody who's a full-time honor student at UCLA, you're not very articulate. You know that?
It's because I'm sick right now.
He's like, oh man, it was fucking ticklish, man. It was so ticklish. Thanks, Andrew.
You're welcome.
So who'd you fuck to get into UCLA?
Your mom.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Tickle you. Manapua. You fucking takwang.
Oh.
I'm not tickling you, fag.
Okay.
You have fungus right here.
I know.
Is that fungus?
It's pencil lead.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's stuck in your chest?
Yeah.
He has pencil lead stuck in his chest. It's disgusting. Dude, you're gonna get lead poisoning.
It's okay.
What is that? Is that, that's graphite.
Yeah.
It's not really lead, isn't it? You have graphite in your chest. If you had a significant amount, metal detectors would go off when you walk through them.
I know.
got stabbed with a number 2 pencil during the SATs?
Alright.
No. How'd you get that in your chest?
Running with a pencil fell on it.
Dude, having Steve Joy.
Yeah, that's pretty sucky.
You tell the story.
Steve Choi's scrotum got pierced by a pencil.
That wasn't a story. Alright, this guy named Steve Choi, who's like Korean guy who thinks he's kind of thuggish, whatever, but whatever, he's cool, I guess, you know. Kind of went to high school with him, so I'm friendly with him. But he's the type of guy who's all hardcore, wears baggy pants and stuff like that. But when he gets around just him and his girlfriend, he's total bitch. He's like completely turns around. When he's around the guy, he's the hardest thing in the world. When he's around the girlfriend, he's like, oh baby, I missed you. Like that whole 180-degree thing. Girls can change you. That's what kind of mind control they have over you. Also shows you that's just an act, but whatever. That's off the point. Anyways, he sees his girlfriend walking around school and stuff. And instead of like hey baby, what's up? He decides to sneak up on her. Just jumps on her back, just pounces on her back. She has her backpack on. She's holding some books. So she drops the books and she looks back. She's like, oh, it's just you, Steve. And he's over there hunched over like, oh, fuck. And just like cussing himself out and stuff like that. And she's like, what, baby? What do you do? You're the one who jumped on my back. You deserve it. Stuff like that, And he goes like, shut the fuck up. And he's being all mean and like serious though, She's like, oh my god, what happened? Are you seriously hurt? Turns out she jumped on her back when she was wearing a backpack. She had a mechanical, pencil sticking up from like the small patch of her backpack, and he jumped on it, and the pencil, the lead tip of the pencil went through his scrotum, literally pierced his pants, went into his scrotum and into his fucking ball sack. No shit, it happened. Went into his scrotum. He had to go to the health center and get a Band-Aid for his dick sack. Isn't that the crazy? He had a pencil in his dick, in his scrotum.
That's hilarious.
It pierced through the skin of his scrotum, and he said he actually, he felt the pencil pull out, when he climbed off it.
That's sick shit.
Why did I tell that story?
I don't know.
I don't even know. Oh, because of this. So you have a pencil in there. See? In a way, you should be thankful you have it there. Right? Would you rather have? Pencil here or pencil in your scrotum?
Here.
Exactly. Okay, you're relaxed enough, I can tell. Do my next experiments. Yes. We're going to do the same thing this time, except instead of fluctuating pressure, we're going to fluctuate the speed or tempo at which I typically use. Is that okay?
Okay.
This time I'm just going to go on your nipples.
Ah!
No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do it. Just relax. I'll start in a minute. You can do the same exact thing, except on the sides here. I'm going to fluctuate the speed or tempo, not the pressure or anything else. Okay? You're the most odd person in a massage. Just lay fucking straight. Not that hard. You curl up in a ball and suck your thumb and everything. I'll kick you out if you do that at the salon. You don't want to work there anymore, but whatever. At the health club. You're lucky, man. I was very tempted to just fart on your hand right here.
No.
I didn't, but I could have. Okay. Average tempo, average pressure. This time I'm going to fluctuate just the tempo, okay?
Okay.
Alright, same pressure, slow it down. How's that compare to the first one?
Oh god, the first one's pretty bad.
Alright, slow it down even more. Same pressure though. How's that feel?
It's ticklish. I can feel it.
Alright, so back to the average.
Yeah.
Same pressure, increasing it.
Okay. Oh god. Okay.
Okay, now. Same thing. Just step by step. 5 different steps. Average, lower, lower, then higher, higher.
Okay.
How'd that feel?
That was very ticklish.
What?
Very ticklish.
Okay, talk about it, step by step.
Alright, this is the increasing tempo, same pressure. First one was average tempo. That was pretty ticklish. and he started reducing the tempo. The reduction of the tempo still tickled, but not as much as the first average tempo. So I guess it didn't really affect me as much. But once you started increasing the pressure, there was more tempo. There was more feeling to the general area where you were tickling me. Very sensitive already to the massage. I think that the responses were a lot greater than it would be originally because of the massage. Excuse you. So the increased tempo really fucked me up.
I don't understand how I'm like burping and farting because I haven't like eaten in hours. Okay. So far you've vouched for two facts, that an increase in pressure and an increase in tempo both increase the ticklish sensation. Which do you think increased the ticklish sensation more?
Increased the...
Which had a more of an influence over
increased pressure.
Increased pressure increased it, or had a more of an influence over the ticklishness than the increase in tempo did?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to take a few more minutes, do a little, like, bring our body back at equilibrium, do our last test. I'll give you an example to kind of illustrate what I can do for the last test. Let's say, how much is your max on bench press?
Was 195.
195, so you would rep usually 165, 155,
yeah.
Right? Okay, let's say you're repping 165. You want to do 3 sets at 6 repetitions each, right? And let's say you do your 6 reps, you do your first set, you wait, you kind of rest for like 1 or 2 minutes, kind of stretch it out, everything like that. Do your next set. It's a little more difficult, but you can still pull it out. Rest for a couple minutes, kind of stretch out, blah, blah, blah. And then you do your third set, and you're struggling by the 6th one, but you can still do it, right? What would happen if you did the first set, didn't even get up, waited like 5 seconds, did your second set, waited 5 seconds, did your third set?
That's hardcore.
What?
Hardcore.
What would you do?
First set.
Could it be done?
Yeah.
Could it be done? If you were barely pulling out 3 sets with 2 minutes rest in between each.
Oh, no.
No? It couldn't be done.
I don't think so.
Okay, so as in, if you don't get inadequate rest in between sets, your body's kind of fatigued and can't fight as hard as it usually would, right?
Yeah, you need recuperation time.
It's exactly what we're going to do right now. Let's say I tickle you for 10 seconds, and then I massage you for a minute, tickle you 10 seconds again, it's going to be fine, you can handle it. But if I tickle you for 10 seconds, kind of like don't give you enough recuperation time, like you wait like 3 or 4 seconds, tickle you again, it's going to be a lot harder to stand it, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, that's my hypothesis at least, and I'm going to see if it actually works. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to tickle you for a little bit, give you a short, a few seconds break, tickle you again, give you a short few seconds break, tickle you again, and you're going to see whether or not the second and third time I tickle you is about the same, less ticklish or more ticklish after being neglected the rest, okay? That's going to be our last experiment for the day. Sorry. It's browsing. It's a little dry, so... Go back to my oil well. It's exactly what it is, it's an oil well, man. The ladder to go up to 2.
Scar.
Okay. I'm going to tickle you for a few seconds, give you a little bit to rest, tickle you for a few seconds again, give you a little to rest, tickle you for a few seconds again, and you're going to kind of trace the tickle sensation to see how it was affected by the lack of rest in between sets, okay? Ready?
Yes.
What do you want me to tickle?
There's most ticklish up here.
Most ticklish up here?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Keep your arms down. Alright, relax and just talk.
Oh god.
While you're relaxing and talking, I'm gonna do the whole cool down routine. I'm gonna wind your body down.
God. Damn, okay, pausing it makes it worse because you have no recuperation time. It's just enough to like start getting sensation again, because when you go at an extensive amount of time when you tickle, you start to lose feeling. But just because that you like get that little space in between, it creates a new surge of feeling when you start tickling again. So it's pretty bad. I think that that's the worst, because you talk about the recuperation time, and then you have time to tickle, and then you stop for about 3-4 seconds, and during that 3-4 seconds you're like resting, and then you get hit again. It's very bad, very ticklish.
So what that did is kind of like isolate the or kind of exploit the initial reaction. Like right when you're starting to get tickled, it's a lot more reactive, kind of like peaks really quick and kind of plateaus pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
So what that does is allows me to maintain a high level of ticklishness by only giving a short break, but getting that initial reaction again by starting quickly again.
Yeah.
So I think, well, that was my hypothesis, and that's why I think he's gone, and it seems to have worked. Is that the case?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm doing right now is the whole kind of cooling you down, giving you a whole cool down routine. Doing this in order to, how should I say, avoid massage blue balls. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Massage is more of an intuitive sense, wouldn't you say? Less about the physical, more about like the whole essence of it, the whole inner being of it. That's why girls would understand this whole blue ball thing a lot more, because what happens after you fuck? Girls want to cuddle, want to kiss, kind of hang out a little more, to get a little closure, right?
Yep.
And that's all to do with the soul, that's all to do with the spirit. Guys are led by their penis, so they don't really have the same feeling most of the time, right?
Yep.
In the same sense, after you get a deep tissue massage, you need some closure, otherwise you'll be left hanging. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of like wrapping the whole thing up and making it so your balls don't choke.
Thank you. Thank you.
Making it so you don't choke on your own balls.
Thank you.
Or Johnny doesn't choke on your balls. Wow. So how's your body feeling on an overall state right now?
Relaxed.
Relaxed?
Very.
Do you like being tickled?
No, I hate it.
Is it worth it being tickled when you get massaged like this?
No.
You hate it that much? Or am I just not a good masseuse?
You're a great masseuse, but I hate being tickled.
What'd you rather do in your free time?
Get massaged.
If you could only get massaged if you got tickled like this too.
No, I don't think you.
No?
No.
Really?
Really.
You're queer.
Thank you.
But I want my oil well. Starting to feel a little more revitalized,
Yeah.
a little more relaxed on a general level. Alright, now that you're completely relaxed, can you do me a favor, sit up for me? And kind of reflect, like talk about it for a few minutes. For about 5 minutes or so, if you can kind of focus it a little bit. Actually 7 minutes. Am I in the front, Johnny? No. Lower. Okay. This is Mike C. I'm in LA with Johnny. And I just did a tickle massage on Andrew. I guess we have about 7 minutes to kind of reflect upon it. You want to start off, Andrew?
Yeah, the overall experience was Pretty good, actually. Besides the tickling part, it's a different experience.
Tickling's inevitable.
It's inevitable, but just gotta deal with it, I guess. Right now, how I feel like I just want to pass out. Just so damn relaxed. He's a good masseuse. He knows what he's doing. My body just feels like heaven. Just want more. Just want to go to sleep. But actually, when he started tickling me, the experimental part, that kind of woke me up. He did a lot of series of experiments on me just right now. Besides the massaging, the experiments, they're pretty crucial, I guess, to see how it affects the tickling / massage combination, how well it correlates. Overall, in general summary of it, I believe that tickling after a massage like this greatly enhances the sensations of the tickling experience and makes the tickling experience much of an unpleasant experience because you're not really ready for it. It's like
it magnifies the response, you're saying.
Exactly. It's like taking a warm, hot shower. You know, you're used to it, and all of a sudden jumping into a frigid, ice-cold water, you know? It's not...
That was such a fob way of putting it. It's like taking a warm, hot shower and then jumping into a frigid water.
Yeah, you know. So, I mean, that's just the main summary of it, and then little Mike here is going to explain the process of the whole thing and what he did.
We had 3 little mini experiments in which we took different components of the massage and isolated them and saw how the overall response was affected by them. First of all, we fluctuated the amount of pressure issued when I tickled him, and we justified that the amount of pressure is directly in proportion to the ticklish sensation, as in when the pressure is increased, the ticklishness is also increased, right?
Yep.
When pressure is decreased, the ticklishness is also decreased. Of course, this is, I don't know if you've taken, of course you've taken statistics, but if you're still familiar with it, it's kind of like neglecting the extremes, like, you know, both of the skews, you know, this is kind of like, we're staying within, you know, standard deviation, because if you go, of course, if you use too much pressure, it's just going to hurt, you know.
Yeah. And
if there's no pressure, it won't evoke any kind of type of reaction at all. So we're neglecting the extremes. An increase in pressure increases the ticklish sensation, and a decrease in pressure decreases it.
Yep.
Likewise, we also tested for the tempo changes, like the speed changes. We justified also that an increase in the tempo also increases the ticklish sensation.
Yeah.
So both the tempo and pressure, when increase the ticklish sensation as well. They're both kind of symmetrical. However, an increase in the pressure weighs more heavily upon the reaction than a increase in the tempo would.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, another thing we tested for, it was a deficiency of rest in between sets, kind of somewhat similar to weightlifting. That affected ticklish sensation. What we reasoned was that if you are given inadequate rest in between little tickling sessions, it'll increase the amount of ticklishness, right? Like, well, I tickled him, gave him a short break, split-second break, tickle him again. The second time would be much more ticklish than the first time, just because of that break. It was more ticklish than it would have been if I just tickled him straight, right?
Yeah.
The reason I would think that it's possible is because the initial reaction when you're tickled, you know, your sensation, bam, just skyrockets, like, exponentially. Then pretty soon after kind of plateaus because you can't rise that much higher. So that initial reaction gets the most dramatic response. And by doing this, you maintain a high level of ticklishness and then add in more factors of the initial reaction, kind of adding up a little more and stuff like that, kind of raising the bar a little higher, so to say. So that's what happens when you do that. The bottom line was the biggest experiment, all in all, was to see whether or not if you're more or less ticklish or the same after you receive a massage. And we figured that after you receive a massage and the body's relaxed, you are you tend to be more ticklish. I wouldn't say that it's just a physical more tickling because I didn't tickle you any harder or softer or anything like that. It's mostly in your mind, because let's say you're at an equilibrium state right in the middle, and tickling and massage reactions are completely opposite ends of the spectrum. They're like, what? Republicans and Democrats, they're like Israelis and Pakistanis, They're like complete opposite ends of the spectrum. I don't know, it's a surfer joke, but they're like wetsuits and chlorine.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyways, they're complete opposite ends of the spectrum, like Israelis and Pakistanis. And smack dab in the middle are the Greeks, okay? And let's say you're right at the equilibrium state, and your distance when you're tickled is, let's say, that much. And your distance from the midpoint to when you're massaged is about that much. However, the distance between being tickled and massaged is twice as much.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Because you're pulled from one extreme to the other, your displacement actually will be much greater than if you were at a normal state of mind. I guess that's the most simply I can explain it. And overall, the Tickle massage was a success. We kind of sought out, we accomplished what we sought out to do, and all in all, it was kind of cool. We had fun doing it, right?
Yep.
And hopefully we'll do it again soon together, because he was cool. He was fun to work with, and ran pretty smoothly. We got the job done. So all in all, this is Mike.